According to statistics by World Health Organization, obesity has more than doubled globally since 1980. In 2014, 600 million people aged 18 years and above were found to be obese. There's some good news though. Obesity is preventable. My name is Bill Hawaka, and here is what you can expect on today's episode of Health and Flavor.
Yes, that's one. Let's go down. Breathe out. And in.
Even very young people are getting most of their conditions because of excessive weight gain.
Okay.
And it's important for us to know that there are three ways you use to determine obesity.
Yes.
The term overweight may be used relatively. Some people would consider one to be overweight because of the way they look.
In African culture, a person who is huge and overweight can easily pass for a wealthy and prosperous person. We always want to imagine that such an individual's body size is a result of their ability to maintain a lifestyle of sufficient, nutritious, and finger-licking good food. Rarely do we think of such people in the context of disease such as obesity. We went out to find what people think and know about obesity. This is what we found out.
Sometimes there are genetic factors that are linked to obesity. Yeah, and mostly unhealthy lifestyle like foods. Someone eats junk food, which is more common in urban areas.
It's related to bad habit of eating. For example, I can say like people also here in Kenya, they eat in a bad way, like they eat excessively. Now, which leads to excessive accumulation of fats.
You overeat. I think it's overeat, lack of exercise. You eat and relax. So it's like you eat everything and you eat in big quantities.
Well, obesity is when your BMI is past a certain number, which is actually your weight against your height. So for each person, your height is supposed to be relative to your weight, not less than what is required or more than what is required. So obesity is when it's over your BMI, your body mass index.
The term overweight may be used relatively. Some people would consider one to be overweight because of the way they look. And some people look like they are fat, yet they are actually just the shape of their anatomy. Others would also not like themselves and consider themselves to be overweight. And others may also just use certain terms loosely without necessarily giving it to a particular definition. But the more medical definition would be considering whether one is underweight, normal weight, overweight, and then the extreme is obesity. And that has a certain definition. That definition is it's derived from the fact that there is a ratio between height and weight. And that ratio is generally known as body mass index. That body mass index determines whether one is underweight, overweight, or normal weight. Anybody with a body mass index of 19 and below, it would be considered to be underweight. So you can be extreme or you could just be underweight. 20 to 25 is generally normal weight. Between 25 to 30 is generally overweight. Above 30, then now you go into the stage of obese. In usual English, you can use any other term, like so and so is heavy, and so is overweight. But one can be looking like they are overweight, yet they are within their normal weight. So the determinant really is height, weight ratio. That is in general terms. A few cases, like some races, may not follow that very strictly. So one must make that decision based on many other factors, including race and sex, and age also. Eating more than what you need to spend or expend or use is not necessarily eating a lot. There are some people who have genetic predisposition to accumulate more weight. So number one, you have to understand that few people will do very little about their weight and the way they look. And those will have to have a specific program. However, it is yes true that when you eat more than what you use, you end up accumulating that weight. And it's also not just eating more than what you use, it's also the efficiency of digestion. So you eat, you absorb, and then you retain. Then you might end up with overweight. The other form of overweight, which is not as common, could also be an overweight of fitness. You've probably seen some people who do a lot of exercises and put in a lot of muscles. So these people, they do not necessarily preserve so much of what they eat, but they build their muscles. They add the muscle weight, and muscle weight tends to be heavier than fat weight. So the ones that tend to preserve more are the ones that accumulate a lot of fat weights. Now, the type of foods will determine which fats you take, which fats you retain. For example, if you take direct sugars like glucose, what will happen is that you will absorb almost everything that you eat right from the tongue. A lot of it will end up being preserved. If you eat certain foods like fruits with a lot of roughages, you can be eating large quantities but very little sugar in it. Therefore, you preserve much less. The second thing is, how much do you do? What does one do? Exercise is important, yes, but maybe one is not exercising enough relative to their requirement to exercise. Therefore, they end up accumulating that weight. There are other foods that are generally fats in themselves. So you absorb them, you start storing them almost immediately. Not like sugar, which you convert into fat and then store. But these ones you absorb and start storing almost immediately. So it's important to note that there are cases of overweight where you can play a big role in terms of lifestyle, but there are cases of overweight where the genetic makeup plays the bigger role. Diabetes type 2 in particular is dependent on the receptors of the hormone insulin. So when the one is overweight, chances are high that their fat content of the cells is higher, and the receptors of the insulin in the cell is blocked by the fats. So that predisposes people to type 2 diabetes. Things like sleep sometimes becomes difficult for people who are overweight because their neck, when you are fat or when you are overweight or when you are obese, the fat accumulation is all over. So sometimes even the fat, the airway is not as open as it's supposed to be. The chest cannot rise and relax as it's supposed to be because there is too much weight around it. And in total, it is not very safe to be overweight. Neither is it safe to be underweight. Yes. So the craze of wanting to look certain figures is not necessarily an advantage. And the one treatment may be used, but the more appropriate would be how to manage weight. How to manage weight would be a bit more appropriate to use because it's a process. It's not something that you will take medication and then it just goes. If one is overweight or one is found to be obese and been assessed and found to have certain predisposing factors, then the type of exercise or type of the treatment regime would be different from one who is generally eating more than what they need. One who is eating more than what they need just needs to do exercise and needs to eat less and have a bit of regulated eating or thereabout. But it's a bit more complex than that. So it's a management thing. One has to be assessed. Once they've been assessed, the organs checked. If those organs are fine, then certain treatment regimes can be there. Once in a while, you may require some medications to try and help you manage the fats, for example. Some medication may reduce the appetite. Some medication may relax somebody's body because there are people who tend to take more when they are stressed. So you can also look at such factors and see why is this person at this level of weight. And in general, what you will do is give them a total management And management will require several facets. There is exercise, there is nutrition, there is lifestyle change. It's a total lifestyle change, if I may summarize it that way.
The more you eat, the more you ought to spend. Not money, but energy. According to our nutrition expert, the root of obesity is imbalance between calories intake and energy expenditure. Let's listen to Kefa Nyanumba as he takes a look at matters nutrition in weight management. Hello everyone, welcome to Health and Flavor. This is our nutrition segment, and on set we have Mr. Kefa Nyanumba. He's a nutrition expert, and this segment is very interesting. Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
You're most welcome.
Thank you so much.
So then today we're having a case study of obesity.
Yeah.
Yes, and our patient is called Mary, but that is not her real name. So then we are looking at her medical history is that she has obesity. Yes. But then there are complaints that she's having when you're looking at her case study.
Yeah, they included fatigue,
yes,
which is actually common.
I see you say especially in the morning.
Yes, especially in the morning.
What causes fatigue in the morning? You're just from waking up.
Okay, that's expected because at night usually our body slows down in terms of metabolism.
All right.
So you expect it to be worse, especially in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's breathlessness.
Yes, because of excessive body fat.
Okay, and back pains, joint pains.
Joint pain because of the excessive weight. Of course, our joints usually carry the weight, so that's expected.
All right.
Yes.
So then we're looking at her dietary history.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Bearing in mind she's only 35 years old.
Yeah. So it's surprising to know that,
someone at 35 can have back pains, yes, joint pains.
Yes, yes, because of our food intake.
Okay.
And, even very young people are getting most of the conditions because of excessive weight gain.
Okay.
And it's important for us to know that there are 3 ways you use to determine obesity.
Yes.
We check what you call the BMI, which stands for body mass index.
Yes.
We check the waist circumference,
yes,
and we also check the body fat percentage.
Oh, okay.
So in the case of Mary, of course, the BMI was above 30.
All right.
Yeah, this is somebody who is actually classified under obesity.
All right.
Yes, and that comes with the number of dangers, and that's why she needs to take action.
Okay.
Yes.
So then let's take a quick look at the dietary history.
Yeah.
Mary takes 2 cups of black coffee.
Black coffee?
Yeah, 2 slices of white bread with butter and jam spreading. Yes. And then she reports having cravings for sugary foods.
Yes.
Oh, okay, such as sodas, cakes, and all right, all right, and chocolates. Yeah. Then she enjoys fruits, but in form of juice only, but dislikes water. Yeah. So then I can see that this is her history that you took
to assist me in terms of nutrition intervention.
All right.
Because when such patients come to see us, the most important thing is they want like a nutrition program to assist them to manage or to work on the weight.
Okay.
So, and if I would actually try to summarize what I did in terms of nutrition intervention.
Oh, yes.
First and foremost was to cut down refined foods.
All right.
And for example, we have white bread.
Yeah, I can see this.
White bread.
All right.
We also have what you call the brown bread. Now, white bread is actually refined in the sense that it doesn't have fiber.
All right.
Yeah, and such foods usually tend to spike our blood sugar, and that, of course, increases the risk of obesity.
And can we say that white bread is more sugary?
Yes, it actually contains more sugar compared to the brown bread. That's why many people usually like white bread.
Okay.
In any case, many people eat because of taste and convenience.
All right. Yeah. So then, in this case of obesity, then it's advisable to switch.
Yes, it's important to switch from white bread to brown bread.
To brown bread.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. But then, so then, tell me, the brown bread, how much of it can be taken? Is 2-3 slices okay? Okay,
if you can take 3 slices,
yes,
that is okay.
All right.
But we are also concerned about other sources of sugar because, as I said, what is bad in the white bread is it tends to have
too much sugar. We have jam.
Yes, I'm going to talk about spreadings.
Yes.
Let me talk about the other types of sugar that many people actually take.
Yes.
For example, we have what you call the processed sugar.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
that's what we add in our team.
Our tea,
and
most
the people
of the time.
take a lot of sugar because if they're taking so many cups of tea, you expect them to take a lot of it.
So let me get this right. Is it wrong to just take sugar in the first place? Should we cut sugar?
Okay. The danger is people take too much. When taken in moderation, our body is able to handle it. Okay, the danger comes when you take too much.
What is moderate? Like, let's say a cup of tea.
If you're taking a cup of tea and 1 to 2 teaspoons of sugar, that is okay. But if you're taking 10 cups with 2 teaspoons of sugar, that's allowed by the end of the day.
Okay.
So there are so many ways we usually try to moderate our sugar intake.
All right.
But this is called the processed sugar.
Yes.
Now we have the other form of sugar, which is called icing sugar.
Yes.
And in the case of Mary, she actually used to get cravings for sugary foods.
Oh, okay.
And cakes was actually one of them.
Sure.
So in the cake, we have what you call the icing sugar, which is actually worse than the processed sugar.
Oh, okay.
And of course, soft drinks like sodas.
Sodas.
Yes, they have a form of sugar we call high fructose corn syrup.
There are people who say that there are some sodas that have more sugar than others. Is that true?
Of course, in fact, there are certain sodas that have up to around 10 to 13
Okay.
teaspoons of sugar.
All right.
And that's why we discourage, soft drinks,
Yes.
especially for the people who want to cut down their weight.
All right.
Yeah.
So then in this case, it's best to replace sodas with water.
Yes, water will be
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
In case you don't have an option, then you can take fruit juice, if it's fresh fruit juice and all that.
Yes.
But of course, it's good to remember that fruits are also very, very important compared to fruit juice.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or fruit is better than fruit juice.
Because of the fiber.
All right.
Yeah, fiber is very important when it comes to issues to do with the digestion of our food.
So then let's talk about the spreads.
Breastfeeding.
Yes.
Yeah. If you look at the dietary history
Yes.
for Mary, she usually mixes a number of, bread spreadings. And it's important for us to know that when you talk about weight management,
Yes.
we're trying to cut down the calorie intake.
Yes.
For example, if you are mixing, for example, butter and jam, by the end of the day, you end up taking too much of the calories.
All right.
And that, of course, increases the risk of obesity.
So then I can see in your intervention,
Yeah.
you stopped Mary from taking the things she was taking and you introduced.
I would prefer honey.
Wouldn't that be, or you prefer honey to jam?
Yes, because that's natural sugar. It's not processed.
All right.
Yeah.
So natural sugar is best for our body.
Yes, our body is able to handle it compared to processed sugar.
All right.
Because we
So
are
then
part of nature, yeah.
Now that you are stopping her from taking these things and she's having a craving, wouldn't that be complicating it? Or
We are usually able to address craving. But by the time we start making adjustments in terms of the food intake,
yeah, she'll be able to
addressed.
handle the
Yes.
craving.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. I understand that. Okay. So then from that time, she can start seeing the weight diminishing.
yes, and it's important that, exercise also comes in, because from the history, you can also see the activity levels on the lower side.
Yes.
So exercise is also very important because it assists the body to break down the excess calories.
All right.
So she needs to, start engaging in simple forms of exercises like walking, you're climbing stairs.
So can we say after she changes this diet, it will also be easier
to exercise.
to exercise?
Yes, it becomes easier.
Wow, you got it. Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you.
Kefa. And for our viewers back at home, unfortunately, we've come up to the end of this segment. Up until next time, see you. Obesity in itself can be a predisposing factor to non-communicable diseases. Being an obese patient doesn't mean we cannot exercise. Even obese people can work it out a day at a time until such a time they are physically fit and can engage in vigorous routine workout. Welcome back to Health and Flavor. On our fitness segment, we're going to focus on obesity. We're going to do exercises that are going to help us curb obesity. And on set, we have an expert in fitness, Mr. Nzuki, and he's going to give us way forward, guide us on the exercises that we're going to do. So welcome, tell us what exercises are we having today?
So, in our list for today, expect a strenuous workout.
Okay.
Expect a workout that will make you breathe faster.
Okay.
Expect a workout that will make your heart rate go faster.
Okay.
We'll start with the stretches.
All right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you
Okay.
ready?
So legs apart. Let's flex. Just turn. Yes, like this. Turn. Yes, curve your arm, your hands out. 1. We go 5 times. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Your left hand back and your right hand up. So now you lean to the side. Feel your obliques stretching. I'm counting 5 times. 5, 4, 3, 2. Change. Keep going. Go furthest. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just look at the camera. Yes, let the hands stay there and the hands to go. Yes. Now change. Change leg. Let's go. You feel the stretch here?
Yes.
Okay, up.
Okay.
Look for the balance.
Uh-huh.
Up. Feel the stretch here?
Wow.
Yes, keep it coming. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we change. Hey, okay. Go. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flex your legs together. Now make it a punch, make it a fist. Then legs together. Go down and reach your toes with the fist. Go down, keep going. Go. Let's go. Don't bend your knees. Don't bend your knees.
Okay.
Yes, this right.
Okay.
Yes, reach your maximum. You feel the pull here?
Yes.
Okay, flex. Good. Now we are done with the warm up part.
Okay.
Yeah, remember going down, you need to take care of your joints. So you have to be very slow.
Okay.
Yes, you go very slow down. But now coming up. So you run. So we have it here. Are you ready? Let's go. Oh, fast. Let's go. Go fast. Go.
Okay.
We are doing sit-ups. They are majorly called sit-ups.
Sit-ups, okay.
And this is the way we're gonna do them.
Okay.
You lie low. I'm straight. Watch me first. Watch me.
Okay.
Yes, watch me first. Straight. 1, then I go back. 2, then I go back. Also, as I come up, I'm breathing. Coming up, I'm breathing out. As I go down, I'm breathing in. And then up. Up. Yes, that's 1. Let's go down. Breathe out. Then in. Out. That's 3. Give me 4. Now it's time to stretch.
Okay.
To end our workout for the day.
Okay.
Yes, so we are stretching legs apart.
Okay.
Legs apart. Yes, keep going. Leg straight. Good, change. That's the other side. Together. Reach them.
Like that, huh?
Back. Lean back like this. So in this one, we are stretching the quads.
Okay. So we lie down there.
Yes, I'm straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we change.
Okay.
Change the leg.
The other leg, eh?
Yes, you feel it here. Let's
Okay.
go. 4, 3, 2, 1. The back straight to back. Let's go. Stretch your back.
Okay.
Back in like this. Back like this. Now out like this. Now in, straight. Like a V. V. Yes. Now breathe in. Out. Again. Now clap for yourself. Thank you.
Viewers, it's the end of this segment. Those have been exercises for obesity. If you've been doing them at home, we encourage you to continue doing them. They are beneficial. I'm feeling tired already, and I'll keep doing them. I hope you continue doing them.
Hello, I'm Dr. Fassah, a general surgeon and a public health specialist. Let us do a recap on the subject of the day, obesity. I could not agree more with what the doctor, the nutritionist, and the fitness expert have already said. Obesity is abnormal or excessive fat accumulation in the body. Once considered a problem of developed countries, obesity is now considerably on the rise in the developing countries, particularly in urban settings. The best way to prevent becoming overweight or obese is by eating healthy and exercising regularly. This is really the balance. Many of the strategies that produce successful weight loss and maintenance will help prevent obesity. Number one, eating a healthy, balanced diet. This includes eating fruits, vegetables, whole grain foods such as brown rice and whole wheat bread on a daily basis. Number two, exercise at least 30 minutes or more of moderate intensity activity on most or preferably all days of the week. If you are obese, exercise is beneficial because it helps you keep and add lean muscle tissue while losing fat. Foundation to obesity prevention includes adopting new healthy habits such as taking the stairs instead of the elevator or escalator, being physically active and avoid watching television or sitting at the computer for hours on end. Balance your calories intake and calories used to control your weight. A person must adopt a lifelong healthful pattern of eating and living that will get the weight off and help keep it off.
Most of African rural regions are quickly becoming urbanized, making most people susceptible to sedentary lifestyles. This is characterized by consumption of high fatty processed foods with little room for fruits, vegetables, and legumes. This is a perfect recipe for obesity, and the opposite is equally true. Regular physical activity, increased consumption of fruits, legumes, and vegetables will keep obesity at bay. Mark Twain, a renowned American writer, once said, "The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not." I have been your host, Bill Hawaka. From our studios in Nairobi, Kenya, it's bye for now, and thanks for watching.